Welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII Remastered commentary playthrough. Alright, so last video was all about endgame prep and everything you needed to do. So hopefully all your cards are refined, you got the items you want. We're not going to make a big use out of the items just yet. And pretty much not until we fight the super boss and the final set of bosses when we get to the end of the game. But for today, we are going to run through the entire mansion here, or the castle, and start to eliminate these bosses one at a time. Make sure your party's set up. You don't need mug for these, so don't worry about it. Now, the most intriguing part about this is that we're going to have to switch party members every now and again to progress in this castle, and it can be kind of difficult. But we'll get through it. Alright, so the gimmick of the castle is that our abilities are all gone. We have to earn them back by defeating these random bosses that are just kind of spread throughout the castle. So the first one we're going to find is right here. And just approach it. And this is how every boss battle is going to work, pretty much. Your junctions are still going to stay the same, so you're still going to get the bonuses and the benefits from whatever you junction and your abilities. But this guy is no threat. It's real easy to deal with. Yeah, so they kept the old version of this stuff right here. I don't know what, there was like a coding issue or something, but whatever. So first thing we want to get is magic. You can always run back and save your game from the outside. You know, you can continuously exit this castle if you really do need to save, in case things go wrong. But you want magic first because we want access to Meltdown, so we can start, you know, meltdowning all the enemies. Make it much more easier to kill too, since we're doing all physical damage right now. Put back on your encounter none, and how you proceed from here completely dependent on you. You know, if you know the game well, then face the bosses you want to. But if this is your first go around, there is kind of like a recommended setup on how you take these things down, because some of them can be tougher than others. Sphinx World right there was the one that we needed to defeat first, though, just because it is an easy one. So if you want to follow the same order that I'm doing, then great. So this will shake. Keep that in mind. This is actually one of like the little puzzle things here. So this will fall. And then we want to do this. So this little hatch is really, really bad to see, but if you run across it, you'll see a message there. Just say yes, you're going to open it. And then run down here and you'll face this guy. This boss is thunder-based. So if you're going to take this guy on, you definitely want to absorb at least thunder magic, because every single time you attack him, he's going to counter with a very powerful electric move that usually does like about 6,000 damage, you know, defensiveless basically. So if you start factoring your defenses, you can minus the damage from that, but it's still a hard-hitting move and can outright destroy you if you're not set up. But if you're absorbing all the elements like I am, then you're good. First thing you want to do is melt down this guy. And then just go ahead and start spamming attacks. There you go. Mega Spark won't do any kind of damage to us. First time an enemy's cast a scan on us, so he's trying to figure out what we're weak to. That's it. That's all he's going to do. So every time you attack him, he's going to counterattack with Mega Spark. But just absorb it, and you're good to go. Now, as for the rest of whatever, I only suggest magic being your very first thing that you do. After that, it's basically up to you. If you did miss GFs early in the game, now it's the time to probably put draw in your command menu so that you can draw those GFs that you missed. Which ones they actually belong to in these endgame bosses, I have no idea because I've never done it that way before, other than Eden. I know Eden is given to you by Tiamat, which is like the final boss in this entire castle before the actual final boss. I would probably go Resurrection though, in case things go wrong. You can, you know, revive in here. So it'll be a while until we run into another save point that's not outside, so save is kind of useless for now. So with that complete, you have more options. Just keep exploring this place. It's really fun to just kind of get your bearings straight. You come through here, this is going to be like the waterfall. We'll go in more detail about this though. So I actually want to come this way, go back to the entrance. In this hallway, you're going to face off against pretty strong enemies. Ruby dragons like to spawn in here a lot. Come up here, and this time we're going to head to the right. I'm going to go down and to the right. Keep this bell and this little rope in your head. It's going to be used for something much, much later. Alright, so the art gallery. What we got to do around the art gallery is we got to read these little paintings. And you want to get every painting in the room so that you can add it to this mega painting right here, is where you're going to put in like a little code in order to summon this thing. So they're very hard to see. Just keep spamming X whenever you get near a wall in the poster that you think that you can see. And all we're doing is just adding the letters. Some of them might be kind of hard to get, just keep spamming. So the puzzle here is supposed to be solved by this clock. The clock is going to point in, 3 different directions of the type of letters that or the type of words that you're actually supposed to select. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I already know the code, but it's just, that's how you figure it out without knowing it in probably your first time run through. But if you come over here to this big thing, the words that you want to select are Vividarium, Intervigilium, and Viator. Once you get that message with the 2 ETs in the middle there, that means that you did it correctly. In the garden sleeps a messenger. Alright. Some good Latin, right? There you go. So now behind us, Trauma is going to spawn. Yep. This guy comes with like 2 little minions to the side of him. They can actually hit you pretty hard, so I'd be careful. We have no way to heal ourselves right now at all. You just want to melt down and take out the main body as quickly as possible. You can't escape from me, so you're stuck, you know? When he takes too much damage, he's going to take those little guys and heal himself one last time. And that's it, so that's all he's gonna do. He's just gonna drain those dudes. And then you'll know once they're both dead that he's dead too. Command ability will allow you to use your other abilities like Card, Recover, Resurrection, Dark Side, Absorb, stuff like that. So now you have access to those. Let's go through this door. This is the armory down here. So you'll see that we're locked right now. We need the armory key. We're going to find that. Don't worry about it. Just keep this place in mind. But we do want to go through this door right here. And there's a key. Grab this key. And an Iron Giant's going to spawn behind us. Now, this is where the secret of Meltdown was really discovered here. Meltdown's the secret. That you use it on him, and he's going to get hurt pretty bad. And Gilgamesh has to do his thing. So you see that I blinded him, so I have my status effects kind of spread throughout. Very easy. If you try to battle him straight up, use GFs or anything like that, he's going to be kind of tough. He's not going to go down easily. You can summon Doom Train. Doom Train is actually really good for this fight because it'll inflict the same status effect that Meltdown does with Vitality 0. And that's how you take that guy down. Oh, bring out the limit breaks. And that was that boss. Pretty easy. Alright, so now we want to return to the main hall here. And since we made some decent progress, I'm actually going to go save, because I don't want to deal with this again. Now this next sequence, it's dependent upon if you care about your magics or your items, really. But this is where we're going to have to start using the other party to get around the castle. If you want to, you can junction exchange with, you know, any one of your persons for that encounter none. And that, you know, that would be the correct way to do it, but since I have the lovely Remastered, I'm just going to use this because I have no time to be playing around with that. Because I would just switch over and use encounter none, but then my HP would drop to yellow and I would just have to heal it, so it's just kind of an extra step that no need to do that, right? Generally in the castle, though, you really do want the girls to stay together because they're going to be used for a kind of a puzzle with an elevator. So for here, run with your other party, and then you want them to run into these green things right here, and you'll see that I'll lever depressed. So now switch to the other party, and run across, so you'll see that the bell doesn't drop anymore, or this little chandelier, and that's because they're holding down the lever right now that keeps this thing afloat. And then if you run into this back door, we'll run into another boss. Now with Krista is actually going to cast Ultima on its death, so you know when you won when it casts Ultima, so just be prepared for Ultima. This thing likes to shoot magic and kind of hit you physically a little bit, so, you know, maybe auto shell would probably be beneficial here, just for the sake of the Ultima. Ultima does hit really hard, but we're protected really well, so I'm not worried about it. The counterattack is very nasty, but it won't last long enough to be too much of a danger. Right, take draw. Then I would reset the party by coming back outside, just so you don't have to run with them again. Now then run up and, actually let's take the side route. Take the side route over here, pop through the double doors down this way, and examine the water fountain with X on this side and you'll find the treasure vault key. That's actually really well hidden. There's like no kind of gleam or anything that'll showcase that, so just leave it there. Keep this area in mind, we're going to come back to it. and this black cloud as well. This is where the super boss is located. So in the remaster, this has actually gotten a lot easier. In the old days, you used to have to hit every single button on the PlayStation remote. So the secret to this is to hit X, square, triangle, and circle all together at the same time, and then let the music dissipate. Once you do that, we're going to run back over to the gates, and every single one of the gates should have dropped so that we could get the final Rosetta Stone. So hold your controller however you want, and then just let it go. It's going to get kind of loud. Okay. And if you want to play any fancy tunes on there, go ahead. I'm not musically inclined like that, so no point for me. And you'll see, as long as you hit them all together at the same time and hold it down, it'll register. Keep it like that because we still have to drain the water. Now, when you come up these stairs right here, walk. Walk across this bridge because you'll see that little, like, looks like a skeleton type thing over there. Walk across the bridge because if you run, you're going to rattle it and it's going to fall down. Where it falls down is going to be in the armory section. But if you just walk, it's not going to go anywhere. Pick it up and that'll take you down to the armory. This is essentially a useless ladder. This takes you to nowhere. I used to think this thing would come to life and be a boss, but it never does, so I don't know what this is actually supposed to lead to. If it does do something, then, well, 20 years later, I have no idea. This is on the way to the final boss, so we don't need to do that right now. Then come back and around. And we want to go back down towards the armory. Head up these stairs to the right. And down to the armory. Use the armory key on this door, and it's going to open up another boss. There's a hidden Ultima draw point right here. Now, this dude can be kind of irritating. It starts out as a regular Visage, and then it turns into something bigger. He does a lot of status elements, and he has a counter move that hits very hard. It's called Counter Twist. So pick your character up, and he'll just do some kind of weird gravity animation, and you'll take a ton of damage. Auto Protect is useful here, for sure. So you kind of want that ability on, if you can afford it. Or just watch your HP as you go on. So these are going to be pretty easy, just defeat them quickly. I would focus on the hands first. Go ahead and get a look at this counter twist move. And he'll do that the entire time. I mean, fine if he does that. It's not a big deal to us. So hopefully we're seeing the power of Meltdown at hand here. It's really, really good. It's absolutely eliminating these final bosses for us. Save point exists over here, so if you want to, I would grab save right after you defeat Gargantua. So you can just save on this side. For this section, we actually need the girls to come down this way. And this is the elevator, so you're going to need the weight of the men and to carry up the weight of the girls to go to that side over there. So we're going to go ahead and grab them. We'll just switch over. And I don't feel like dealing with all that again, so I'm just going to use that. I should have been able to drain the water at some point. I don't know. Let's see, I'm getting lost in the castle again. Oh yeah, the left side. Take this left side. Down here, there's this door. Forgot about this door down here. Come wrapping around. Head down here. This little hallway. We're gonna come back this way. So now we got the girls at the elevator, which is great. So put them on the elevator, and then switch to the other party. Come back up and around. And there we go. And then make sure you switch to them, because if you don't, then you messed this up. Grab this key. That's the floodgate key. So this is what we need to lower the water. The draw point, nothing important in here other than that. So let's come back over here and then switch over to Squall's party. So that only works when you put the girls on one side of the arena there. Captive Leaf Class will be our next boss encounter. You'll find the door right here. How you're supposed to know that, I don't know. But I kind of found it by happen chance when I was younger. The box puzzle here is very simple. Just start 1, 2, 3, and 4. So hit the first box, second, third, and the fourth. And then go ahead and run into this guy. So same exact strategy, just melt down, melt down, melt down. He carries meteors if you care about it, which we probably shouldn't at this point. And then keep going. He'll cast a dying meteor just like any other behemoth in these games, so you'll know when you win. He's weak to blind, so it'll stop all of his physical attacks completely. Just a ton of HP. There we go, he's gone. Now then, for the one final secret here, we want to run all the way back down towards the armory. And interact with this little keyhole right here. That'll drain all the water. You have to pull the lever, and there you go. That's also actually like, so if the armory key falls down, it's going to fall into the water. You'll have to know how to get the floodgate key and all that in order to pick it up. So that's how I actually discovered it, because I ran across the bridge like any other normal person would. And then that thing fell, and I tried to figure out how to get it all those years ago. So then just return to that gate that we unlocked with the piano, or the organ. And now with the water dropped, we can run down here and head over to the right screen, and we'll find the final Rosetta Stone. So now we're going to give this to Zell. Candidate will be, we'll say Siren. Find my amnesia greens. And now Zell is just like everyone else. Has exactly what he needs. Then if you come down to this door right here, this is just going to be the backside entrance for the prison. So there's a lot of interconnectivity. You can do a lot of things out of order here and still be fine. And then we want to take on the final boss of the main game, pretty much, when it comes to these abilities needing to be gained back. I'll just take the normal route. Hold that. So you see it's rattling as I run across it. That'll just shake the key off. And even with the water drained, I mean, this ladder still, I don't know what it's supposed to lead you to. It does nothing. I just sit here and I smash X and there's no hope. I hope every single time I play this that there's something there. There's never going to be. Not sure if they forgot to put in a hidden drop point or something, or maybe there's a save point down there. I have no idea. Speaking of which, I think in this area. Yep. Move find, you have a save point here. So you can begin your long climb up those spiraling stairs. Auto protect. Enemies that you would find in here are going to be Tonberries, Forbiddens, pretty much all of the undead things that you found in the Central Ruins, just on steroids. So they'll be a lot more stronger at this point. And the secret here is going to be this bell. We got to wait for it to swing across. Probably turn off ×3 just so we can hit it. And there we go. Through this doorway, and you're going to see a Bahama-like creature. That's going to be Tiamat. You don't really need to heal up for this fight, because all Tiamat's going to do is do a countdown, and then it's going to do its own version of Mega Flare. If you're guarded against fire, you're going to absorb all this damage. So we're invincible this entire fight. This is going to be way too easy. So he's going to spell it out. It's Dark Flare. And all you want to do is make sure Meltdown hits. And then go crazy. So I'll let Tiamat get this off just because it's about to die. Tiamat is just a overly HP buff boss right now. There we go. So Dark Flare will do a ton of damage if you don't know how to safeguard against it, and usually produces a lot of game overs for the unexperienced player with this game. So then with GF, we've done it. We've commanded all of our abilities. And the only thing left to do now is to complete the game. So, just to show where we're trying to go, we're going to go up the rest of the way here. Come down here. If you're looking to grind, this is probably one of the best locations to do it, as high-level behemoths, oil boils, iron giant, I think all sorts of the most powerful things are like lined up all around here from this little bridge. Once you're done with all that, you have the option to run into the door, and then you're going to face off against the final boss of the game. And that's it. You're going to have everything completed. But there is one final task that you might want to consider. If you're a completionist especially, and for your trophy, you're going to actually need to fight another super boss that's called Omega Weapon. So he looks just like Ultima Weapon, but he is a lot more insane. There's strats all over the internet with how to deal with this guy. The way that I found way back in, 1999, 2000, whatever, is I use the invincibility stuff, Holy Wars and all that. So I'm going to do that same method because it's always worked for me, but I know there's a ton of strategies out there, like using two defend guys with that command available. Some move with Renoa where like you can just rain down meteors like insane on him. It's whatever. He has a move list that goes like in an order, and as long as you get used to that order, you can kind of prepare for what next, for the next move that's coming up. How you really want to prep for this guy is you do want 999 HP across the board. Auto haste for every single character. If you can, you want to try to hit him as hard as you can with, strength plus 60%. If you're okay with losing, stuff like auto protect or stuff like that. He does a lot of magic stuff though. That's the biggest issue with him. So auto protect probably isn't going to be useful in this fight. I would probably have to say that auto shell, because he does cast meteor. Quite a few times actually does he cast meteor, so shell's probably going to be a better situation overall. And we will keep this just like this for now. And I'm going to switch over to shell. And then I'm going to show how to get this guy to get summoned here, and then I'm going to end the video and start another one just for the Omega fight. Because Omega can be kind of a pain. Now I would go to your items as well. Items are going to be more useful in this endgame stuff than any like magic or anything like that, to be honest. How you want to set up is probably have, you're definitely going to want magic, recover, and you want item. You don't want draw or GF because you're not drawing anything anymore and you're not going to be using your GFs as much. Any other abilities that you choose to have on you, go ahead and do it. Defend is really good for a specific move that this guy pulls off that it's just no way to defend against it, and it does like 4,000 damage each time it hits and for multiple hits. So it's like his insta-kill move. So let's go magic, GF, I would choose item. And item. So, and then, yeah, and if you want Kamikaze, you can. Kamikaze will break the damage limit, but you're going to lose your character in that battle, you know? So it's kind of like a last-ditch effort, get rid of someone. But honestly, that is just such a terrible strat that I wouldn't even do it. Then go ahead and use all your strength stuff, you know. So I kind of want to get Irvine to 50 here. Probably get Zell up to 55. Squall to 90. Vitality, it doesn't really matter. Give it to your weak characters. So just use your ups, you know. No harm in it at this point. You just want to be able to do a lot of damage to this guy. And then go into the battle for your items here and set up your battle menu. What I would recommend most is putting Mega Elixirs at the top because you're going to need them. And then follow that up with Holy War, which will make all your party members invincible. You can do Hero for a secondary option, and Elixirs. So this is like your first page should be consistent of this just so they're easy to get to. And then from there, you can put your Mega Phoenixes, your Phoenix Pinions, see here, none of the stones are going to help us. Phoenix down. No status elements to speak of that we need to really worry about, except for Curse. Curse does make an appearance in this because he uses Gravija, but hopefully we're invincible by the time he even gets a Gravija off. And, you know, if he does get it off, then we're in big trouble. We're going to have to cast this unit, and then the battle gets all sorts of hectic. Mega Potion's not too bad, I guess. I would rather X Potion, though. And this is the basic setup of how I do it, especially for the end game, too. And then to quickly showcase how this guy gets summoned. So you're going to need help from the other party to do this. You come over here. And you actually want Squall's party to be, or whoever your fighting party is, to go through the double doors here. I'll actually click this on. Stay at this point right here. This is the closest point you can be at. That'll just make it easier. You want to run with the other party. Come over here to this little, the balcony area. And behind here, there's like this little rope. Interact with the rope with X. And you're going to be given a short countdown timer. So you have 1 minute to make it to Omega, just to get into the battle with him. So switch your... And there he is. So you will have 1 minute to, you know, decide if you want to engage this dude or not. And then if the countdown timer runs out, all that's going to happen is that he disappears back into that black cloud. And then you have to resummon him again. So this fight will always be here no matter what. So I'll make an episode just dedicated for this guy, and then we will finish the game by fighting the final sequences here, and that'll be it for FF8. I'll let the countdown timer run down real quick. And that's it. So he'll just dissipate, go back, and you'll have to do it all over again. So not a big deal. Alright guys, well, hopefully that helped you out. I mean, we ran through those bosses really quickly. If you're not junctioned properly and you missed a bunch of stuff in the main game, this is probably going to be really tough. Just keep in mind, Meltdown is absolutely invaluable. So you do really, really, really want to use that magic. It'll help you out, especially in the end game too. It's like almost needed. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.